When you talk about Champ, you're not just talking about a benefit design. You're talking about a financial engine that has to work for three parties at the same time: the employer, the workers, and you. In this video, we'll walk through the economics of Champ so you can show, in plain language, why it's practical, predictable, and worth scaling. Let's start with the employer. Champ is built to make the math work for the business, not only for the carrier. By moving a defined portion of wages into a compliant Section 125 structure, the employer pays less in payroll tax on those dollars. Instead of pouring more money into plans that employees can't afford to use, they're reallocating the budget into something staff actually feel in their paychecks and at the point of care. A key number to keep in mind is this: Champ creates about $573.6 in employer savings for each enrolled employee every year. That's roughly $47.80 per month per participating employee. If an individual worker's tax profile doesn't produce that full amount on its own, the employer savings can be used to sponsor the difference so the employee still receives the full Champ benefit. Either way, the employer ends up with a predictable savings amount attached to every Champ participant, on top of the value of people using their benefits. When you scale that out, it becomes very real. In a 50-person group, those per-employee savings add up to roughly $28,600 per year, or about $2,390 per month that is now freed up inside the benefits budget. That's found money the employer can use to offset Champ costs, strengthen other benefits, or fund additional solutions in the MyGig ecosystem, such as financial wellness, credit building, or future offerings that solve new problems. On top of the dollars, there's protection. Because Champ runs as a structured Section 125 program, Harbor Shield 125 coverage is included. That means the Section 125 design behind Champ and the wider pre-tax benefits in that plan are backed by dedicated audit defense if the IRS ever asks questions. For many employers, this is the first time their cafeteria plan has had a specific protection layer attached to it, which turns compliance from a vague worry into something with a clear answer built in. Now, let's shift to the worker. For employees and their families, the economics of Champ show up in two places they can feel every pay period: more net pay and $0 access to everyday care. Because Champ uses a pre-tax structure that is calibrated to the worker's tax profile, many employees see their net pay increase in a range that's commonly around $100 to $400 per month. Some will land a little below that range and some a little above it, depending on hours, wage level, filing status, and existing deductions. But the pattern is clear. Then Champ layers first dollar care on top of that lift. Workers receive primary care visits at zero copay, urgent care at zero copay for common issues that might otherwise lead to an emergency room bill, zero copay telemedicine for people with unpredictable schedules, zero copay mental health and behavioral telehealth, covered formulary prescriptions at zero cost, and even virtual veterinary care without an extra bill. For households that are living close to the edge, that combination changes behavior. Instead of skipping care because I can't afford the visit, they can call, chat, or show up and know it's covered. Instead of stretching medication, they can fill what's on the Champ formulary without another hit to their budget. So on one side, paychecks are going up. On the other side, the cost of everyday care is going down. That's why Champ enrollment tends to stick. Once families experience a few months of higher take-home pay and $0 frontline care, it's very hard to go back to benefits that feel like a bill they're afraid to trigger. Now, let's talk about you. For a certified reseller, Champ uses the same per participant per month model that runs through MyGig as a whole. Every enrolled Champ participant generates a commissionable amount, and that amount is shared across the roles in the MyGig structure. Your share as the primary introducer, the CR1, is 50% of the Champ commissionable amount, which is $12.50 per participant per month. If there's a CR2 above you, they receive $5 per participant per month. A broker role receives $3.75. Channel Partner 1 receives $2.50, and Channel Partner 2 receives $1.25. Across all of those roles, the total shared amount comes to $25 per participant per month when the full structure is present. There are three important things to remember about that structure. First, your Certified Reseller 1 or CR1 share is always $12.50 per participant per month on the lives you personally introduce, regardless of whether there's a CR2, a broker, or a channel partner attached to the same group. Second, as you grow into leadership roles, you can stack. If you also become the broker on a Champ client you originated, you combine your $12.50 CR1 share with the $3.75 broker share on those same participants. The same idea applies if you step into a channel partner role above your own production. Third, the model is designed so that the person creating the value by bringing the client receives the largest share, while leadership roles earn overrides for training, support, and expansion. When you put that all together, Champ becomes a set of clear income paths instead of one-off wins. As a part-time Champ builder, you might fold Champ into a handful of existing relationships and close a single standalone group with 50 enrolled participants. At $12.50 per participant per month as a CR1, that's $625 per month in recurring income tied to that one employer, before you add any other MyGig solutions. As you take it more seriously and build a real side business, you might work consistently with a mix of employers and end up with 2 groups of 75 participants and 1 group of 50 participants on Champ. That's 200 total lives. At the same $12.50 per participant per month, you're now at $2,500 per month in Champ income as a CR1. If you decide Champ is one of your core lanes, you might target multi-state operations, higher turnover segments, and benefit-strained teams. In that scenario, 4 employers with 75 participants each and 2 employers with 100 participants each would give you 500 enrolled lives. At $12.50 per participant per month as a CR1, that's $6,250 per month in recurring income from Champ alone, before any stacked roles or cross-sell opportunities. From there, you can also think about going upstream in a way that keeps your book balanced. A single 300 life group at $12.50 per employee per month is $3,750 per month in CR1 income, and roughly $172,000 per year in employer saving. That's an anchor client and a very large population of workers you can support with other MyGig programs. A different path to similar income might be a mix of 150 life groups and 50 life groups that still total 300 participants. You earn about the same monthly Champ income, but you're diversified across multiple employers and industries. Your goal is not only to chase the biggest whale possible. Your goal is to build a portfolio of Champ groups where each new employer adds 3 things at the same time: predictable monthly income for you, measurable savings for the business, and a bigger audience of workers whose lives get easier when Champ is in place. When you present the economics this way, Champ stops sounding like a clever benefit idea and starts looking like what it actually is. It's a repeatable engine that creates value for employers, relief for workers, and a scalable residual income stream for you, especially when you plug it into the wider MyGig ecosystem and protect it with Harbor Shield 125.